Don't you lose sight of what you want.
Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hivehound. And we're straight into the action here, and today we have something very special for you all. As usual, when BunBun drops me a message and says, "Got a gameplay for you," you know, you almost don't need to watch it. You just start recording because you just know that it is going to be something special. And here's BunBun playing. We skipped the first couple of seconds of the video, and she's playing the Tier 7 British cruiser, HMS Edinburgh. I'm sure we'll do a historical video on the Edinburgh at some point. Do apologise for the slowness in the videos, but we've been working away. We've been making up with as many live streams as possible. Well, got to work with what we've got for the time being. But I am really happy that you've all stuck with us. Not only did we break 500 subs, but hell, in a week, we're almost at 600. If we can get 600 by the end of this weekend, that'll be 100 in a week, which is absolutely ridiculous, and I appreciate you all very much. As BunBun punishes the Kagero, silly enough to go near a smoke screen. You've got to remember now, it's British cruisers hiding in smoke screens, and they are not the friend of destroyers. So as you can see, BunBun's. Have you noticed the first shot accuracy? Like, BunBun has got her targeting down to an art form. Scoring. I said we're not scoring huge damage, but this is a hipper that's way out. Obviously, the hipper's slowed down and turned evading that last salvo, but still scoring hits. Unfortunately, those hits in particular were bounces, and BunBun again firing off the torps. So the hipper is now focusing it. BunBun does the smart thing, turns in, angles her armor to reduce that incoming damage because she's no longer in the smoke screen and no longer has that freedom. But the hipper's making a fatal mistake, I feel, here. Sailing broadside to a British cruiser, those fast firing, that semi-armor piece in AP is known for punishing other cruisers. What are you doing, you crazy hipper player? As he suddenly cleans the shit out of his ears that slid out of his brain and does the smart play. I thought he was going to say does the smart play and starts bow tanking, but yeah, no. And someone else comes in and picks up the kill, putting us on a respectable 40,000 damage already. But if you think that's good, you haven't seen anything yet. And I've been talking about this in a couple of videos about the I think that's the World of Warships version of a tea bag right there. So I've been talking about it, and it's the effectiveness, like how useful are cruisers with like the meta. And well, the British cruisers have really come along and mixed things up with their ability to take out other cruisers really quickly, and the smoke screen, and the fact that their armor piercing just decimates the destroyers. Obviously, they're very weakly armoured. You do have to take that into account. So don't do anything silly like sail broadside to a battleship. Well, broadside to a cruiser. Broadside to a battleship might not be a bad idea, because quite likely with their fuses, they're just going to overpen you. Unless it's a British battleship. So yeah, you want to be paying attention to that. As getting some close engagement with that Iowa then. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a pause in the action here as we switch to the frontal camera as BunBun repositions after helping secure the western flank. So I think, what would I be doing if I was BunBun right now? Obviously, they are all over in A. I think it's A. So BunBun, I think, is going to go try and capture. If I was BunBun, I'd be going to capture that B point. And right up until now, we were ahead, but all of a sudden there has been an awful lot of ships dying on the eastern flank. So it's decision time. Get the cap, secure the points, and try and survive, or attack. So BunBun having a look around just in case. You never know, there might be some torpedoes lurking around in the background, so it's always nice to have that map awareness. Check in to see what competition is left out there. And I know, still only 37,000 damage. Don't worry, there is plenty more to come. Try not to spoil the video for you, but this is going to be good. I think is the only possible way to describe it. So we've got the caps. BunBun ignores B and goes full on attack mode. She's well aware that the entirety of the remaining forces are over here, and regardless of the lightly armoured British cruiser, BunBun makes ways towards them. As you can see, doing the smart thing, using the rock as cover, and just firing some speculative torps, because if they think, yeah, we'll go and sneakily catch B, they're going to come around the corner and hopefully eat that volley of torpedoes. And I wasn't paying attention. I just realised lost another ship. It is now a 3v5 in favour of the enemy team. And yeah, it's not looking so good right now. The enemy team, BunBun was going to go down the south end and attack, but it turns out the enemy team have decided to push around the outside, and she takes an absolutely massive hit from, is that the Bismarck? It is. So obviously not the kind of ship you want to be broadside to in a British cruiser, that's for sure. But do you want to be broadside to a British cruiser in a Bismarck? Yeah, in all fairness, it's not that big of a deal. The semi-armour piercing's pretty ineffective against battleships. So I thought the first salvo scored a nice juicy 4,000. Second salvo, alright, 2,000, but there were only 2 guns. All 4 guns are now firing. And British cruisers for battleships is definitely a death by 1,000 cuts rather than outright destruction. And as you can see, unfortunately, it's another ship down, so now it is a 5v2 situation. So BunBun very aggressively goes, right, that's it, I'm having this Bismarck. This Bismarck is going to eat my torpedoes. It's going to appreciate every single one of them. It's going to say, thank you for sending me those my way. The Bismarck is turning away. Smart idea or not, we'll soon see. BunBun very cleverly pushes in bow forward. We've got more torps the other side. We are a British cruiser after all, and it looks like they're gonna hit. The Bismarck very narrowly misses. BunBun switches to a narrow spread because the Bismarck is up against the rocks. It's not going to be getting out of there anytime soon, and continuing that death by 1,000 cuts, and doing exactly the right thing. Bow tanking, 3 torpedo hits from those single fires, reducing the Bismarck to a near wreck. And just waiting for... Is BunBun waiting for those torpedoes, or is it just going to be... just shoot the crap out of it? Spinning around the Bismarck, hopefully quick enough, and the friendly battleship picks up the remaining damage. So BunBun done, what was that, 60,000 damage? That was definitely a kill steal. As were they Citadel? They must have been on the Fiji. They couldn't have been on the Alabama, surely. BunBun not aiming so quick and firing, zooming back out, so she can take advantage of the situation. And again, more Citadel hits. British cruiser, very lightly armoured, means nice and easy Citadels for everyone else, as she starts focusing on the Jean Bart and starts scoring some consistent hits. And torpedoes away. That single spread allows you to be so much more effective. Hydroacoustic search, because, well, yes, we know there is a destroyer in the vicinity. It's a little bit dangerous being that broadside with the Jean Bart. Obviously, he's either use both of his reload boosters. Otherwise, I think BunBun would be suffering significantly more here. And switch back to the Fiji. Hi, Fiji. Oof. Bye, Fiji. Fiji does launch its torpedoes. BunBun turns. And again, look at that. Feet in it. Feet. And unfortunately, our torpedo tubes have been knocked out. As BunBun circles the Alabama, preemptively assuming the Alabama's going to turn in, fires those torpedoes short. And predictably, the Alabama does turn in. Talk about being caught between a rock and a hard place. Don't know if you noticed, that is 160. Nope, 195,000 damage in the Tier 7 British cruiser. Really putting this ship to work and showing exactly what it's capable of. Again, firing the torpedo shot, predicting the turn from the Alabama. As the Alabama narrowly dodges the final one, down to 500 hit points, where the damage is creeping up really nicely now. Well over 200,000, and the Alabama is gone. That's 220,000 damage, and it's just us and a Jean Bart. As BunBun realises it's a bit of a mistake, probably turning there. The Jean Bart is going to have broadside. Fires a smokescreen. Is a smokescreen too late? Unfortunately, yes. What a devastating loss. Over 220,000 damage in the Tier 7 British cruiser, and BunBun showing exactly how to make the best use of it. So I hope you all enjoyed. Do subscribe to a channel. It will be linked down below. And until next time, take care.